Hey y'all, it's MJ from Alta Love, and today I just wanted to talk about letting go and how we release attachment to outcome and how intense and sometimes challenging it can be, and that ultimately, whenever we have a powerful emotional reaction, there is an opportunity to let go. And oftentimes, the situation that we're facing um, isn't exactly why we're feeling how we're feeling, but rather the catalyst to assist us in transforming a denser or a more painful pattern of belief. Because when we have an impact, so when something, what we would think is totally unexpected, when that happens to us, it impacts us and triggers an emotional response. And that emotional response is the transformational healing when we can be present with it. And ultimately, it's our presence that is fluid and allowing, and it really does allow everything to be what it is. Even when we're in our deepest, darkest hour, our presence is bearing witness to that. And this comes off the back of yesterday processing a really profound emotional storm that almost felt new in the different sensations that it brought up, and a very powerful um, sort of almost like a terror or fear around abandonment, or also around, again, that sense of out of our control, but a very fearful out of our control. And seeing that energy and sitting almost with the kind of the quiver of the fear, and witnessing it and saying, I'm still going to love you, and I'm still going to be here for you, and I'm going to be witness to you, and being able to slowly let that fear dissolve. And then we're all in our own timeline, in our own world ultimately, um, but also really allowing, when we can just process our own stuff, we can allow people to be. Now, the amazing thing about being able to let go is that it's kind of like one and the same thing. Our That idea of letting go is really more about living in the flow, and it's really living in a detached space. And when you're living in the moment, there's no fear of the outcome or expectation for the outcome. And it's really only when we're in that state of fear that we're kind of gripping for certainty. And I say that really out of the process that I went through yesterday, and seeing, trying to hold on because everything else is in chaos and everything else is sort of would appear to be out of my control. Then you kind of latch on to other aspects of your life to maintain that. And ultimately, there's nothing to hold on to, you know? Ultimately, there's there's no thing that you're not. And how we move through these energies is, um, to me, really about just continually facing it all with love, and being willing to feel what's there, because it's really feeling those energies as and when they arise within us that allows us to transform and allows us to have a deeper recognition, and then that also allows us to kind of rise up and be more abundant creators and be more loving creators as well. But I just wanted to share, some of those little insights, because things can come out of nowhere apparently, and really hit us in a core way, and basically just sitting with the emotion until it clears and until it passes, and getting enough rest, and then moving through it. But I'm certainly more clear with regard to basically just loving people, but not placing really any kind of expectation. And and I also know that the kind of new paradigm relationships are navigating really new territory as well. And I think I just wanted to say thank you to you guys, and thank you for tuning in and showing up, because this is where oftentimes we have monumental shifts that sort of set us on a new path. And this very much is the new path, because I can share honestly and with integrity, and even when it's um, whether I'm down or whether I'm up, I can still show up to share some nuggets and some insights about working with the transformational energy, and or working with just spiritual practice or self-reflection practices that actually help us stay tuned in to the place within us that is okay about everything. And that place within us is usually deeper than even the emotional experience we're having. What I notice within myself in the practice is that even as the emotion is kind of really rising up, there's still the deeper part that's like allowing myself to go through that process. And that's a something you practice and learn when you're doing the mindfulness and you're doing this work, is to not be afraid of the depth of our emotional body. Um, and it triggers, we can witness that it triggers people in our relationships perhaps, but it's really important to remember that that's part of that inner work, is to not deny and mask what the body is going through or what the body is having to let go of. Because energetically speaking, if we have an experience which triggers fear, or which triggers abandonment, or triggers anything that has to do with fear and separation or control, then it's there and we're being triggered for its release. So that's the more I practice it, the more diligently I really like sit with. And I realize that sometimes even that sitting with emotion and letting it come up and clear can be frightening for someone else to witness, right? Without knowing or thinking, oh my God, what have I done? Or anything like that. So, and I think that's just more, um, talking about the changes collectively and how our feeling body is so important to our harmony and peace and abundance. And I'm somebody who really believes in change and transformation, and all that's come up in the last like 2 or 3 days are like lifelong dense fear and old stories about, yeah, but this is how it is and nothing's going to change and people need to da 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 da, and kind of those masks and those excuses about why we're not powerful. And so you sit with all of it and you feel all of it and you shine light on it, and then you wake up the next day and you carry on. So thanks so much for listening. There's a one on the watching, so thank you so much for listening this morning. Just wanting to send you all a really big loving hug, and I will be tuning in again tomorrow. Peace out. Bye.